Shouldn't you be counting the other way?
Thanks, thanks for that shot while we went live, Wade. Thanks. Okay.
After all, this is dollars and cents.
It's always nice. It's always nice to know that you're right on cue.
Yeah, great intro there. Fantastic.
We had all the time in the prep room to say whatever, and he's like, "I gotta get one more in. Just one more in."
We didn't start counting up
Oh,
until we're about to go live.
Oh my goodness. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode, another podcast with the Dollars and Cents team. Dollars and Cents team. Myself, KP, we have Keisha from RTS Mortgage Financial. I'm telling you, I got it smooth now, Keisha. All right. I was leaving out the RTS before, and it was just mortgage financial.
You're on point now.
Yes, I'm on to you now.
Yeah, you're good.
You gotta hit. She's on Instagram. She's on Facebook. Are
And
you on
YouTube.
YouTube? You're on YouTube too. Okay.
Yes.
Is it? Are your handles RTS?
Actually, on YouTube, it's I on Mortgage.
I on mortgage.
Mortgage. Yes.
Okay. You can well, okay, I don't want you to do too much multitask. I was gonna say you can drop it in on a Facebook there and individuals can see it.
This sounds like a bad off camera conversation.
No, you have to do it live because whatever comments the platform that I'm using and hopefully all goes well. If somebody says something, if they have a comment or a question, we can display it, right? So that so if you drop it in there, they'll be able to see it. So if you drop say it again for you.
I on Mortgage.
I on mortgage. Okay, and of course you have Mr. Wade here, always helping us out navigating money, especially from an accountant perspective, right? He's very humble when it comes to that, but it's okay. I'll give him the shine. Let me also take the time to say, okay, one, he's on social media. He is on Instagram. He's on Facebook. I don't know if he's on YouTube, but there is another thing. He's very humble with it. He's on the radio. You're on the G98.
Sure.
Yeah, he's on G98. Sir, please tell us the time. What time are you on there?
Yes, it's only Sunday mornings from 6 until 10.
6 to 10 Sunday mornings. What is this, like a gospel feature?
Yeah, it's the gospel show, the gospel morning.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Lovely. Great to see. Great to hear that. All right. So tune in G98. That's FM. Of course.
The way we grew, G98.7. This is Pastor.
Okay, there we go. Took a little bit, but you warmed up.
Just a little bit. We got it now. And of course, we have with us our friend and our money expert, Miss Hadriana Leo. She did 2 episodes with us last time. She's on here with us to talk to us about. Well, we're coming to the end of the year, and we just want to see how we can pull things together better, and give you some tips and some insights into how you can manage yourself. So this is Dollars and Cents. All right. So we're on here 1 p.m. We took a break. My transition was a little bit
bumpy.
Yeah.
Kind of like your internet right now.
Yeah.
It's just turbulence. It's okay. You land.
You're in the Florida. It's hurricane.
And of course, we have it. So if you have any comments, you can drop them on subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is let me see if I can get that. Yeah, there it is. Dollars and Cents Team. If you find us on YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know that when we've posted something. We have our Facebook page, Dollars and Cents Team, as well. Hit us up there, follow us on there. You'll be able to catch this broadcast and all the different things that we have said. We also want to shout out some RDP Networks, Mr. Richard Porteous, and for being our sponsor. All things, what should I say, that you need when it comes to computers, when it comes to fixing them, buying them, whatever the case is. Mr. Richard Porteous is the one to hit up. Anything technical, you can give him a shout. He's on Facebook as Richie Porteous, but you can find him as RDP Networks on Instagram. I don't know if he's on YouTube, but I know for sure those two social media handles, he's on there. All right. So in terms of what we're getting into today, guys, like I said, the holidays coming up, we're navigating the pandemic still. I mean, things are kind of tight, either way around. On the financial end, folks may not have the money, and we're restricted in terms of our movement. I don't know what it's like up there. Of course, I'm in Florida right now. We do have the restrictions here. We got the mask. Let me see. I got my mask here. It's always nearby. It's funny how, this is like, we walk with certain things in our cars. This is like one of them
your
now.
wallet, your keys.
It's turned
Now you
into
gotta bring your mask.
the ornament that hangs from the rearview mirror. That's what the masks are now.
The masks are now, and all type, colors and different patterns and all. Oh, it's just crazy.
You gotta show some flair. Come on.
Yeah. That's true. So that's where we're at, and that's what we are doing. And we're gonna talk about budgeting today. So the end of the year.
Don't forget our giveaway today as well.
Yes.
We should probably start with that.
Pick me. I want to win. What y'all giving?
You know what? You can.
How do you want us to do this in terms of?
So remember the last at least 3 of our shows.
Mm-hmm.
Choose 3 guests. Yeah, and a point from their presentation. A key point from their presentation.
Okay, so if you go on the YouTube channel and our Facebook page, you can check out any of our guests on there. And if you can give us so as I said, dollars and let me put it back up.
So it will be the first one to message in at least 3 guests and what was their topic, key point from their presentation.
All right. What is this? What's this giveaway again? What is the giveaway?
Yeah, let's say.
He had it.
The giveaway is, it's a security camera. It's a smart tilt and pan security camera.
I thought that was a dash cam,
Security camera, there it is.
Sweet. Nice. And it's high def and everything, isn't it?
Yes, it is. With person detection, all of that. And guess what? It works with Alexa. Don't forget that. And it also works with Google Assistant.
So wait, Siri's out? Y'all left Siri out in the cold? Okay. Don't answer.
Yeah, don't. You don't want to get me started.
Android for life.
For life.
Yes, sir.
You guys have anyhow.
So we are budget.
Stay in the dark ages with your Android. Anyways.
Budget. Let's go to budget. Why is Keisha the only serious one here? Keisha, what?
She's trying to stay arbitrary.
No,
they're still gonna follow you on Instagram. Don't worry, Keisha. They're still following you.
No, you have to understand why Keisha is being serious. She don't want people to pass by the parking lot and see her.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, all right, Keisha. We understand.
It's okay, sweetheart.
All good.
Oh, good. Listen, you know what? I guess one of the things that kind of comes to mind here, a lot of people think that there's people like everybody's not making money. There are people that are making plenty money through this pandemic,
Oh, yes.
I have clients, both of them are government workers, and they see an overtime like nobody's business. They are raking it in. So not to underestimate the fact that there are people who have serious financial difficulties right now. But somebody said to me a few weeks ago, we're all in the same storm, but we're not all in the same boat.
Okay.
We're all in the same storm, but not on the same boat. So, people saying, oh, yeah, I know what it's like. We're all going through this together. Well, no, sir. You have a yacht that is how many feet long, and somebody's just trying to make it in a little canoe. But we can't, it's not everybody getting the same piece of pie as we're going through this. So there are people who have the cash, and this holiday season, it's like nothing different apart from the fact that they probably won't have a lot of people coming over. But for those of us who see some changes to our finances, in fact, for everybody really, because I think everybody can use some tips on how to do better. We kind of have to look and see what the dollar's doing for us. Is it making sense the way you're using your dollars? And then, kind of take another look, take a hard look, take something. A lot of people have said they
Hadri, can you dig in a little bit more on that point, though, in terms of individuals are doing quite well on the financial side? Just, I mean, I know for sure, I can only speak of like the obvious individuals, the Bezos and the Gates and all the wealthy individuals in the world. Of course, there are others as well, not on that scale, but there are lots of information out there that says that they have gotten, I don't know how much times richer during the pandemic.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The Walmarts.
Right.
But
I think you're talking about the regular everyday.
The regular everyday Joe, every single essential worker. Let's talk about the health workers.
Right.
They're doing a lot of difficult work that if people were looking for people to put their hands up to do this, we wouldn't put our hands up to do it.
Yeah.
Over the last few months in Canada, the government gave them an extra $4 an hour.
Wow.
On top of what they were already. It's okay. Wait, you wait.
Listen, we don't work for the government, sir. Don't be joking. Just
okay.
No. Okay. The reason why, some of them are yet to see that money, but that's a whole other issue.
That's a different story.
That's why I was choking. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm glad you caught your breath.
Yeah.
But they will get it retroactively. That's one thing. And then because you have so many shortages in staffing, if we stay in the health sector, there was opportunity for people to make a lot of overtime. So overtime is, especially in those well-regulated industries, overtime is time and a half, sometimes double time. And these people were pulling in, or still are, to be honest, they're pulling in more money than they would have been if not for the pandemic.
Right.
You have the Amazon drivers. A lot of people are taking on Amazon delivery as a side hustle, and they're making good money. The Uber Eats and Skip the Dishes guys.
Just on a break.
You on a break? There's opportunities that came up in the pandemic that allowed people to actually earn more money than they would have if not for the pandemic. It's easy for us to look at the rich guys, but the smart people, well, some people have pandemic-proof occupations, like our health people, our teachers. As far as I know, they did not get any reduction in their compensation. Some of them now, when they file their taxes next year, they're going to be able to claim the work from home credit because they've had to use their home facility to teach. And that will be a benefit for them, both in the short and the long term. Right. So it's not everybody that's in a cash crunch. Every government employee has been raking it in like nobody's business. And their benefits continue. I spoke to somebody not long ago who told me she's a federal employee. She sat across from me and she says, I can see you today because I've taken 2 weeks off mental health days. Serious, it's a legit thing. And I'm like, that's what my tax money is doing. And don't get me wrong, I want this for her. I want it for her. I want it for her. But when you look at how I have to hustle,
Yes.
and how some others, not in her case, but some others abuse this benefit that they have, it kind of sticks, it's like sticking it to the man, like, hello, I'm hustling here. You know, I have to go find my clients where I find them. And you come in, you check in at your desk, you sit down.
Yes.
My money just keeps coming and pays you. So the government employees, they have not just the cash, but the benefits. It's there for them. So there's a lot of people through this that are not just okay, they actually are doing better financially. If we just look at the dollars, they're doing better financially because opportunities opened up for them.
Right.
I know in the IT world, that's definitely the case because a lot of people had to start working home. Even the government workers, they, you know, in conversation that I've had with some of the individuals that I know, they were telling, well, you know, they have to redo, get a new computer, for example. They have to up their internet service. They have to get all types of fancy this and that in order to better facilitate serving people while they're at home and for security purposes as well.
That's right. That's right. And you don't get around it.
Mm-hmm.
You see, as you taught, as you mentioned, up in internet service, KP.
Yeah.
But that wasn't what I was going to say, but you just
No. Continue.
As Hadrian so rightfully pointed out, in terms of the extra hours and all the money that they're raking in.
Yeah.
You know, the other side of that is all the tax they're gonna have to pay on that money. Because the government, they give you the $4. Let's say healthcare workers, and then they take back $6.
Yeah.
So, because what happens is that it puts you into another tax bracket.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that much to move them.
Well,
but
maybe that, but in case, and so, and all the extra overtime and stuff like that, it takes a toll in another area.
right.
So they need those mental health days. So
Yes.
I'm not knocking them on their mental health days, and you know, because I'm telling you, we're going to have another crisis when COVID is finished. There's another crisis that we will have.
What you talking about when COVID is finished? COVID ever gonna finish? COVID making too much money for too many people. But let me leave that alone.
This ain't going nowhere. This ain't going nowhere.
Also, you know what? I want to point out too, for those who have actually found their talent, you know, or a new business in COVID. There are plenty of people coming out of COVID that have had to take a step back and reassess, you know, their position in life, all that stuff, and just maybe things they've done as a hobby. And it's like, oh my goodness, this can actually be a business. There are a lot of people coming out of COVID that are coming out self-employed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So it's a landscape.
I have a client that was fired, and she's like, she's not going back. She launched her consultancy, and she's not going back. She's not going back to corporate.
Right.
Because it's been something she's been wanting to do for a while, and them hiring her just allowed her the opportunity.
Her, right.
Her package, and she said, "Package, let's go to work," and you know, so opportunities are coming out of that. As with anything, yin and yang, there's good and bad. If you can focus in on turning whatever bad's in there into as good as you can make it, you do your best. But financially, everybody is not in the same boat.
All right. I wrote that down, by the way. You may see that show up in like a sermon or something. I don't know. Who knows?
I have to get a link for your preaching. So yes.
All right.
I'm gonna be like, copyright.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to Keisha's point, though, in terms of the newfound opportunities, I know for sure that when I was there, folks were generating a lot of side income, on especially those who had culinary skills. I know there's a lot of drop-offs, pickups, and all these different things, where individuals were sort of finding out that they can do that. I mean, so I don't know. It just naturally took off. All of it, you know, people are baking this and baking that. You know.
Yeah, cooking. Even my nephew, he has an Instagram page, and it's about 5,000 followers right now, and he's cooking. You know, taking orders and stuff like that. It's really taken off.
Right.
Yeah, they need to protect that. Just follow all the regulations, or else they're gonna come shut you down. It takes one person to say they got a bellyache from your food.
Mm-hmm.
Whisper that in the ears of the right person, and a lot of times, especially in our community, we hesitate to register, and bring our businesses into alignment with the authorities because we don't want the red tape.
You need to into legitimacy.
Legitimacy, yes, yes. But we kind of need to do that, especially when you're talking not just for a fly-by-night thing. You want something that's going to stand the test of time. And if you really want to make money, you're gonna have to do it the way the regulated way, because that's when you can actually get benefits from.
Right.
You're making all this income. Now you can actually get a mortgage because I can see the money you're making.
Yeah.
You can report it instead of hiding it under places and all that and sending it to Jamaica. I don't know, whatever.
And not only that, when you do register, there's a world of opportunity that opens up for you when you register a small business. Then you have access to loans, you have access to different programs that various banks have.
Yes.
So you can get the startup money, and then you have, when it comes to tax time, then you have those additional write-offs that you can use for when these things happen. So it's so legitimate. Messy is the way to go.
Yep, I'm with you there, 100%. Wait, we agree on something, man. What?
Look at what we got here. So, is there anything else we want to dig into before we go to the budgeting side? Because we want to help individuals to do it right as we come close to the end of the year. We just have not too much time left as far as the year is concerned.
We just chatting. One of the things I always say, don't wait for you to have the big money to learn how to manage money. So a lot of people might be saying, through COVID, I don't know where the next paycheck's coming from. This thing's not for me. But now's the time to learn. The people that do best with money are the people that did well with a little. So when they got a lot, they were able to do better with a lot.
So because it becomes habitual, right? It becomes a habit.
Right. That's right. And Christmas is no excuse to go crazy, people. Boy.
What are you talking about?
That's a good, okay, so let's start.
Segue.
Let's segue into there, yeah.
Great segue. Now, of course, we're dealing with the pandemic, we're dealing with the restrictions, but as we have rightfully pointed out, like a lot of things have taken off, especially the whole online world now. Amazon and whoever and a whole bunch of other companies are very busy when it comes to online things. So spending is there, right?
Yes.
It's possible.
We never stopped.
All right. So how do we do this now, Hadri? What's your in terms of we still want to gift people, or people want to gift us, or whatever the case is? What are your thoughts around how we manage ourselves? Because we're still dealing with the pandemic, and people are still there's still lines to go to some places. Is there gonna be how big is the wave? I don't know if we're in the second wave phase yet, or whatever the case is. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, one of the things I think. Every Christmas past, we were happy to just give gifts. If you are a gifting family, you're just happy to give gifts. Right now, you're looking at, okay, one, do I have the money for all of this gifting? Mm-hmm. And two, what is that gift going to do for this person? What place does that gift have in this person's life? And I know nobody needs another mask. Trust me. Nobody needs another mask.
The new sweater and the new tie, by the way.
Yes, sir. And they coordinate too. So that might be the new, before you would do your family picture with matching pajamas, and you take that picture. Now it's matching pajamas, matching mask, and for the ladies, the wrap, like they have headache. But gifting is just different now than it was before. And for me, I regardless of the pandemic, I want us to kind of stop before you give. This is probably late because you probably get all your gifts. Before you give another gift,
Mm-hmm.
I want your first consideration to be meaning as opposed to cost or price, or I have to spend $100 on this person.
Right.
Because I can tell you how many gifts I get that I don't use. The other day, I got 2 bottles of wine. Okay, lovely, fantastic. Thank you for the wine. I don't drink, right? So it's a great gesture. It
Yeah.
has very little meaning for me. And no matter how much you spent on it, it would have still very little meaning for me. I regifted them, by the way, just so you know. It's not in my cupboard for when I have bellyache.
It's okay. We won't talk about that shot there that you took.
No,
That's double entendre, by the way.
it's
No,
water.
you said
It's
she was
water.
going for water. Mhm.
It's water in the glass, I promise. But yeah, I think too many times we gift because we feel we have to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
But we really should, especially if you have a financial crunch, you need to gift meaningfully, not cost, and give somebody a gift that they would actually value. So, give me the gift of time, free up my time. My
Okay.
goodness, if you can free up my time, I will love you forever. Give me a gift that does something good for my kids. If you throw love on my children, I will love you forever. You know, those kinds of things are more meaningful to me. And I think that's the other thing too. In order to give meaningful gifts, you kind of have to know who you're gifting to,
Yeah.
Okay.
right? And too many of these relationships are just throwing money at a person as opposed to really getting to know a person. Give a gift that's actually meaningful. So I'd say start with meaning, not cost. That's why I don't like Secret Santa. I that probably makes me a grouch. But anytime when I was in corporate office, anytime they had this Secret Santa thing, they tell you you have to buy something no more than $25, and you pull about a person's name at random. Like, I don't know you. Well, first of all, I don't want to spend $5. Why do I want to spend 50 or 25? And then not knowing the person, I don't know what to gift them. You gift them something, they smile, and you can see in the smile that they're like, what is that? I don't like that, right? So I'd rather get to know a person and gift them something meaningful. And I recommend that for everybody.
Right. Right.
The second thing is you deciding how much money you have to spend on a gift should not start with the gift. It should start with how much money you have. Right? And so many people, I had a brilliant client that was it last December or the December before. When we went through her money and her gifting allocations and all that, when it came to December, she had $200 that she was going to have to use to gift, I think it was 9 people, because we get down to the brass and tacks in her situation. 9 people had to gift. And she sent me a picture at checkout. She did it. She spent $197 and change. And she took a picture of the receipt and sent it to me. Because she knew how much money she had, it kind of changed up how she went about buying her gifts. Instead of starting with the gift, start with how much money you have. How much money do you have? Have you ever thought of how much money you spend on gifts? I mean, really.
So, okay, that's so one, be meaningful, and 2, you said start with the money and not the gift, because very practical and common sense. Because a lot of people, even while you're saying it, I'm here thinking about it, and that's exactly what happens. People start with that gift, but you don't necessarily have the money to match. What were you gonna say, Wade?
Wade stuck. You remember how much joke he was giving you about your internet?
Oh, it's all right. Well,
He'll be back soon. But no, sometimes I think we start with the list. Like, we ask people, what you want for Christmas. What would you like to have for Christmas? And you get this list from the children all the way up to the grown-ups. This is what I want. This is, hint, hint. I always told my husband, don't buy me nothing. I'll just buy myself what I want, because I know what I want.
Right.
But we start with a list, and then that gets dangerous, because people now starting to expect, especially if they still believe in Santa Claus.
Yeah.
So when you start with this requirement to give people things, it gets dangerous. So let's look at how much. And seriously speaking, though, I guess I can give you a practical way to do this. What I do with clients when it comes to gifting, because you can't tell somebody not to give gifts.
Right.
We all are givers. Well, most of us. We all are givers. We want to give and share the blessing. So there's nothing wrong with that. Kind of what I do, kind of take a look at the people in your life that you give gifts to. So on an annual basis, count all the birthdays, all the anniversaries, count the Christmases, count the great job with your school report cards. If anybody know they're getting married, is not a shotgun thing. Count the weddings coming up and plan for that. If on average you're going to gift $20, $50, spend $20 or $50 on a gift, plan that out. Literally plan it out for the year. And if you know your year's worth of gifting will run you $2,000, you know you're putting away like $100 or $200 a month.
Okay.
So you're not caught short at the end when gift time comes around. But we just
randomly doing things. It's planned.
Exactly. You anticipate it. Like, listen, everybody's gonna have a birthday unless they pass away, which is sad.
Yeah.
But birthdays are not surprises. Anniversaries are not surprises. You know, Christmas every year, same thing, not a surprise. So as much as possible, anticipate it, look for it, and plan for it, you know, so it doesn't surprise us. But if you have not planned for it and like Christmas is here, a few days away, go for meaning and start with how much money you have and divvy it up that way. If everybody get $5, then $5 is it. Timmy's cards across the board. Hallelujah.
And yeah, I know, you know, even though you dropped it in the list of things, and you're saying when you spoke about death, it's not necessarily something that we want to think about and all that. But with COVID, COVID has taught us that it's not just the death part, of course, but people's severe illnesses and sicknesses made even more complicated with the coronavirus and all that. So I think planning, you know, normally we don't like to, especially in our community, you know, think about those things, put something away, you know, have that talk, you know, about our mortality, right?
Yes, it's coming.
Plan for those situations as well. Yeah,
and the best thing we can do is anticipate. And nobody could see coronavirus coming.
Right.
But coronavirus has pretty much across the board showed us what a disability could do. It showed us across the board what would happen if you lost your job.
Yeah.
Right, and through no fault of your own. So it's a wake-up call. I think there are lessons in there for all of us, regardless of what your situation happens to be. But yeah, look for something that's meaningful and then start with a gift. And I am a big proponent of changing things up.
What does that mean?
You know what? There's a place for tradition. But when tradition is messing up your checkbook, you need to throw tradition away.
Okay.
And here's why I say that. The traditions we usually have as a community, you know, a lot of food. Let's say this is not a pandemic year. A lot of food gets cooked. It costs a lot of money. Trust me, when you go for the smoked turkey at the West Indian store, and you get all the other bits and pieces put together.
Yeah.
We spend a pretty penny. So why are we spending all this money on a tradition that's actually costing us way more than we can afford? Is it time to change that up?
Sorry, I'm hearing a little bit of feedback there. I don't know if something is close to one of our microphones or something like that.
I hear it too.
I don't know where.
No idea. Nothing's changed on my end. I don't know if My system's the exact same beginning to end. Wade is smiling. You know when people get uncomfortable when you start talking about something they're doing.
Yeah, like food.
No, it wasn't me. I wasn't doing anything.
It wasn't me.
But,
Sound like Shaggy.
but to that point, though, once again, I mean, individuals don't necessarily think about it in an economic, from an economic standpoint. But yes, we do a lot of cooking, a lot of whole merrymaking, or whatever, eating, drinking, and a lot of food gets thrown away. A whole lot of food. We waste quite a bit. Uh,
Yeah.
and I think that's something that we have to.
Not in my house.
No, because that's why you have takeout containers. So people take food with them. It doesn't get thrown out. People take
No.
food with them.
We know we're not even talking about the get-togethers. When those get-togethers happen, it's even worse. And besides, we're social distancing this year, so there's no getting together anymore, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
At
But
least
there,
not-
people are still baking. I know it. They're still baking. Keisha laughing. They're still baking. They're still planning the whole dinner recipe thing and getting ready for that. But even the gifting tradition should be rejigged because we all know you give people gifts, not just the kids. You
Right.
give people gifts. You turn around and the gift is in a cupboard somewhere, not even seeing the light of day. Perhaps we need to rethink that whole tradition because it's wasting money. It's
Yeah.
legit wasting money. One of the things we did, if not for COVID, I would have been doing this from St. Lucia somewhere. Because one of the things we did, our commitment was to go back home every year when the kids have no school because we wanted to make sure to nurture that connection with their grandparents and all of that. But when I go to St. Lucia, I'm not bringing gifts. I am the gift. What is it with you people? I have come. You know how much money it takes to take 4 people to the Caribbean during the highest peak season? It's winter. I'm not walking with no gift. When I walk into the house and I say, "Hey, mommy, Merry Christmas," this is it.
Well, I tell you what, that might work in St. Lucia. It ain't working in Jamaica.
Listen, you know, one of my brothers-in-law used to do that. He was from Antigua, and he always said anytime he would go back home, he fasts. He's like, before anybody come and ask him for anything, he say, "Hey man, you have $1? Give me $5."
Yeah.
I just get a bread or something. He's like, flip the switch right away. But no, seriously, the boundaries we set are the boundaries others will respect. So your boundaries say, we need to bust the illusion that Caribbean folk think life here is easy and money falls from trees. It does not. When people understand,
Comes out of a wall.
it comes out of the wall. I know. You just go.
Stick your card in the wall. Stick your card in the wall and it comes out.
Yeah, we have to change that narrative because people are now expecting us to show up with all this stuff. Thankfully, my family's not that way. I can say that.
Right.
But we really need to change up the whole idea of what the norm is with how we enjoy the season. And ditch the dinner party. If your dollar cannot stretch, turn it into a potluck. Everybody bring a dish.
This is your comments and your recommendations, Hadrian, there for at least for this year, they're a tough pill to swallow, I can tell you. But I'm in 100% agreement with it. As a matter of fact, I was extended invitations for a couple weddings before I left Canada, and another invitation or another message was sent out following that invitation, said, listen, because of the pandemic and restrictions and that, we're not able to have you, but we'll work this out on another time in another way. I thought that was a huge blessings for the couple, but of course, usually one side of the equation is a bit heartbroken, right?
One side
usually, right? And they're looking for the big splash and that the special moment. But I mean, for a long time, I was saying that, man, the industry around weddings and, special events like that, they've really taken the lid off, doing some of the things that they've done. And people end up having to go into huge debts in order to finance those things.
Yeah, and Christmas is the same. Believe it or not, there are people who finance Christmas on their credit card.
Right.
And that's the scary part, because all next summer you're still paying for Christmas at 22% because you can't get on top of it. But if we can avoid the problem, it's great. If you already are in the problem, take some steps to kind of dig yourself out. Because like I said, today is what, the 17th? Most of the damage for Christmas gifting and that's done. Right. So it's a question of, digging yourself out.
Even in the lockdown. Now, we're getting close to our time of departure. What's the takeaway that you want us to take in terms of this? One of the things that I got is that start with the gift.
Yes.
Start with the money, not the gift.
Right.
So
you have,
and this is where the whole budgeting aspect comes in. You have to look at how much money you have and say, hey, this is now one of the problems that we have is West Indian parents, they don't really like to talk to their children about how much money is available to be spent.
Right.
And the mindset that we have is that, well, I didn't have it, so I'm going to make sure my child has it.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Okay. And because of that, we end up overspending. And then come August, we're still paying 22% on what? Lord, oh God, right?
And the toy is broken and gone.
Right. And so we need to be very, very responsible, because we may not be among those that we started with, who are still making a whole bunch of money during this time, or making extra money, because there are those who are on the other end of the scale, who have lost jobs, who are dependent on CERB, who are looking at, all different types of things. And so those are some of the things that we have to look at. So they have to look at how much money they have available to them, and then act on how they're going to spend that money.
And sometimes the answer, when you look and see how much money you have to do this, the answer is you ain't got none.
Right.
It's just the reality. And you're right, Wade. We don't talk about finances with our children, but we're doing them a disservice. We are absolutely doing them a disservice. So have the conversation. My children know. Like, Solana came to me for something for $300 the other day. I'm like, no, sir, I just sent a barrel home. There are no $300 coming out of anything right now. So do you need it now? Can it be deferred until January? Like, honestly, these are conversations we need to have.
Right.
Giving our children what we didn't have doesn't mean giving them stuff. It's giving them access to opportunities. It's giving them education. It's giving them a broader worldview. It's not stuff.
Yeah. I am in agreement. Once again, I think in terms of I really appreciated the things that you said, because it drew it for me, those things are practical. Even if I didn't articulate it, it was good to hear you say it, right? Re-looking at these traditional moments, these traditional things, okay? And say, just do the hard thing, do the difficult thing, and say, listen, we can't function like that. I love the part where it even said, don't waste food. That is so practical.
Listen.
We do it all on a regular basis. And if, we've been in those long lineups just to get the basic things that we need in our houses.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be, cooking too much, or very practical. We're saving money.
You know what? We have a calypso back home about a lady. I forget the name. Anyway, the whole point of the song is all year long, you hear this lady complaining about how things tough, man, things hard. You know, she can barely put 2 cents together. But when Christmas comes, new curtains go up in the windows. You know, the cow die. You know,
That's
you
because
hear
she was saving for Christmas.
that's because she was saving for something. But my question comes, is it worth sacrificing all year long to blow what you saved on food that, trust me, brethren, it's going down the toilet?
The imagery. The imagery.
You know, I was hungry. I'm
very good for any diet plan. I'm very, very good for that.
Oh no.
But for sure, no, but honestly, our tradition says when it's Christmas, we we party, you know, we eat, we fill up. It's a wonderful time to celebrate. Don't get me wrong.
I agree with that too. Yeah.
All the sacrificing we're doing, you know what's a great gift to gift a person? Give them a $20 in a mutual fund.
Mm-hmm.
Put $20 in their children's RESP. That does not go down the toilet.
No.
That will sit and work for you for years to come.
Right.
But we sacrifice for a banquet. We sacrifice to put on a nice dress for all year's service or Christmas mass, Christmas Eve church service or whatever.
That's gonna get ruined. That's gonna get ruined that very same day.
I know but mind you, some of them they smart. They wear it, they bring it back home, they fold it up nice. You guys use mothballs? Did you guys use mothballs?
Yeah.
My grandmother would take out this thing, man, and you can just know that's been preserved. Yeah, it's been preserved. But that's kind of what we end up doing. But all of that sacrifice all year long, it needs to do something more meaningful for us when we're using our money. We have to do better.
Keisha, one last any final thoughts before we sign off?
No, I think the points are very good. I think we certainly got a wealth of information with regards to, I mean, especially starting with know your budget, right? We start with the gift. We have to start with how much do you have to spend?
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys know I get fired up, but I know Wade's gotta go, so I'm gonna pin it there. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming back, man. Thanks for coming back and sharing your time with us. We are just trying to make sure that individuals are able to function properly while they're navigating this thing.
Yeah, and we can do it. We can do this. We can actually come out of this pandemic better than when we went in.
That is possible. All right. Thank you for tuning into Dollars and Cents. Myself, Wade, Keisha, and of course, Money Navigator, Adriana Beal. Remember, we are on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Dollars and Cents. We have a YouTube channel, Dollars and Cents Team. Hit us up on there. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when we posted something. And we have the giveaway. We have the giveaway. Send us that information and we'll get it to you. Shout out once again to RDP Networks, and Mr. Richard Porteous. All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Okay, all right. Making sense of your dollars. This is Dollars and Cents. Take care.
Bringing knowledge and opportunity to those in the community.
I can't remember my tagline.
Florida will do that.
All right. Yeah, it's nice. The sun is flying my brain.
Anyhow, okay, gotta go.
Okay.